time for me to do an initial review on this Chinese-made X Pro 200 ATV. I got it a few weeks ago, and I spent a little less than $2,000 on it total. It was about $1,400, and then with shipping, $1,900, and I didn't have $1,900 to drop on it all at once. So what I did was I clicked on Affirm as the payment option and was approved for Affirm, and I'll be making payments on this until it's paid off. Instead of paying it all at once, just making payments on it. I did not do an initial unbox and assembly video. Number one, I was trying to beat the rain, and I just barely did, so I didn't really have time. But second of all, I didn't feel like it was necessary because there are a lot of unboxing and assembly videos out there, and you can, if you're interested in seeing that, hop over to one of those YouTube videos and check that out. As far as the assembly goes, it was honestly pretty easy for me to figure out. I did watch a couple of unboxing and assembly videos before I got it, but I gotta admit I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to it. I was doing other things while I was watching those videos. So when it showed up, I just kind of looked at what needed done, looked at the parts I had, the bolts and the nuts, and it was really easy for me to figure out. So I threw it together pretty quick. I will say I think everything looks extremely sturdy, and I'm pretty impressed with the product. I'm impressed with the seller. They were very communicative there when the thing was being shipped to me. So I believe if I had any issues, they would be communicative and help me to get it resolved, no problem. I do want to just add, if you're going to get one of these, there are a lot of reports out there about bolts working their way loose. The suggestion is that you put Loctite on everything, and I think that's a good idea. That's one of the things I did. I went out and I had Loctite ready. I did not use high strength, which requires heat and specialty tools if you need to back them off and take the thing apart for any reason. I used medium strength, which is very difficult and yet possible to take apart with regular tools if you need to, without the use of heat and all that. And I didn't Loctite everything, just put Loctite on the parts that I felt like maybe there was more risk of them working loose, and if they did, it would be a little more catastrophic. I will just add that it's a good idea once you get one of these to not just consider assembly to be what you have left, what wasn't done by the factory. I would just, if I were you, consider assembly to be the whole thing. So go over every bit of what the factory already has put together, because there is going to be a chance that they don't tighten everything down. What I found myself doing is just going over their nuts and bolts, backing things off, putting a little Loctite on, securing it down, and then moving on to my part of the assembly, completing the assembly. It went together really well, and then as soon as I got this thing together, it fired right up. And I've been using it pretty consistently for the last couple weeks. I've been taking it on some joyrides just to test it out. And I've been putting it to work here on our farm, finding lots of uses for it. So my initial review is that I'm very impressed with the seller and the product. I think if you need an ATV and you can't afford Honda prices, what are you waiting for? It's a good deal. It's a good product. If something goes wrong on it, here's the selling piece for me. If something goes wrong on this, all of the parts are available on Amazon, and most of them are like between $7 and $20. That's it. Now, if something big goes wrong, like an engine or whatever, yeah, that's going to be way more expensive. But the good thing is that the engines on these are pretty solid. I think they're bulletproof. So I think there's little risk in this investment, especially if you're a little handy and you can turn nuts and bolts and you can take parts off and put new ones on. I just think there's really not much to worry about with this purchase. I'm going to show you a real quick test drive, and that's going to be about all for this review because it was supposed to rain at 10 o'clock here, and I started this video at about 9:40 and it's already raining. So I'm going to make this quick and just say I think it's a good purchase. If you need a worker around the farm, get one. Do it. If you can't afford $2,000 all at once, then choose a firm and make the payments. It's a good way for around $90 a month to have yourself a working vehicle on the farm. I do need to add a tow plate to the back of this. I just ordered that today. It was $13, you know, big deal. 13 bucks, and then I popped the thing on there, put the nuts and bolts through, and now I've got myself a vehicle that can tow a yard cart, which is going to be one of its primary uses, hauling firewood and you know, dirt from the yard and stuff like that. So Good deal as far as I'm concerned. I'll fire it up, take it for a test spin, and then we'll close this video out. So seriously, if you need an ATV and this is in your price range, do yourself a favor, go get yourself one. Chances are you're gonna get one like mine that comes perfect, that puts together easy, that fires right up, needs no modification, just goes and does what you need it to. If you do purchase one because of this video, please make sure you let me know and give me a review on what you think of it. And as always, if this review benefited you in any way, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.